can you tell me what was deployed? What was needed a hot fix?
Sure thing. Let me just get that change log. I have it in my PC.
Did anyone notice before Nabil starts talking quickly? If you noticed a hot fix change over the weekend and you can name it before Nabil finds it, you get a free miner bot.
Then I'll just give them a little bit more time.
Did the music change in the crypts, Nabil? I don't think so.
Not yet, not yet.
Nope, it's not that Rogue One. It was something that was pretty much annoying to me. That was very short, and now it's a bit longer.
So the hotfix was deployed on one hotfix was deployed on Friday, the 17th of February. Um, this is the hotfix you're talking about, right, Yaka?
Yes, it was on Friday. I think it was on
Yes,
Friday. Yeah.
yes. Okay.
That one.
I have the change log. Do we have a winner yet?
No one. Nope. No one. No one figured out yet.
Okay, okay. Then I will go through this list one by one.
Okay, let's
Um,
let's go.
so remember in the last AMA, I said that there were a few things that were just bothering me aesthetically, but we just decided to go with it because we were short on time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we fixed those things, which include the chat, the duration of the chat bubble. Previously, it was very less. It was, I think, 5 seconds. So we increased it to like 10 seconds. So we just doubled the duration of that. And then we also entered the option that you press the enter key and the chat box opens up, but the text for the chat box was missing. So we added that. And there was a color palette memory text that was a bit wrong. Or yes, uh, it wasn't very, what would you say, clear. And we changed that. We made some minor improvements to the color palette module as well. And there were some visual fixes on the and animation fixes on the hotkeys CTA. And we made some minor UI visual aesthetical changes to the tooltips. That's what we did. And we also in between did some backend improvements as well.
Very nice. And that was just done in like 2 days after the release of 1.4. So great job. Great job,
Yes,
team.
yes. Thank you so much.
You guys now work on like steroids. Like every week we have, new stuff coming out. So that's really awesome to see, and community just loves it. Um, okay, so I wanted to talk to you about one thing. I just saw someone with the Husky PFP in here. Um, and it is just a question that came up during this week. Um, do you have maybe any idea where we could see 2D animated graphics, like Cardano 2D animated NFTs inside of the crypts? Like, does that require, a lot of dev work, or is that something that we could squeeze into the top 10?
So basically, it's not that much about the dev work as it's about the compatibility. Uh, the trouble is with the GIFs.
Ah, okay.
Yes, GIFs are an issue for us. MP4 is doable. However, Unity, it has trouble with GIFs. And there Unity is not supporting the GIF format, GIF format, GIF or GIF, however you want to pronounce it. I personally like saying GIF. It does not support it.
Ah, okay.
There's like alternatives that we do, like we use sprite animations, but for that you need to make those animations yourself, right? Like we would have to make those animations. But the 2D animated NFTs that are out there, some of them might be GIFs, which is why they won't work. But we can definitely look into the MP4 ones. uh, but do correct me if I'm wrong, Yaka. On Cardano, what is the usual format for these 2D animated assets?
As far
Is
as
it?
I know, it's GIF.
Yes. So there you go.
Yeah.
Because for Ethereum, I know that we have plenty of MP4s running around as well,
Hmm.
with and without sound.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. The
yeah,
ones
so
that we
that's
did, the ones
mm,
that we did are working awesome, right?
yeah.
The
So
yeah.
so that's the technical limitation that we run into.
Mm-hmm. So we need to start telling the Cardano folks to start using MP4s, not GIFs, and then then something might happen. Okay, that was derail. I derailed from what we discussed. So, do you want to jump into 1.5? That it's we have so much stuff coming out next week. It's insane, right?
Yeah,
We
yeah,
have
yeah.
1.5 update coming out for crypts and condos, and that update is huge. And then we also have a marketplace facelift 1.0. So a packed week next week. Okay, so let me share my screen. I have your picture here that we talked about. Give me a second so we can take a look on what's happening next week. I'm gonna share my screen, or you show, do you want me to share screen, Nabil, or you just want to go through it?
It's okay. We can no, 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 but there are some technicalities and let me
Okay,
just see. Let me just see.
okay. I won't
Uh
share. I won't share. Just go through it. Just go through it.
yeah, okay. So, first things first. What we're bringing, I'll talk about the smaller features first, and then I'll go over to the much, larger ones.
Okay.
Smaller feature number one, we're adding public views in the Virtua Experiences homepage, the place where you view your cribs. So people will be able to view how many times a particular crib has been viewed, very similar to the views you have on Twitter or on YouTube, stuff like that. We will also be giving the option for people to like public cribs as well. Again, something very, in a very similar manner to what you see on Twitter or YouTube. Um, After that, we're doing some bug fixes in which the some messages, error messages that the users get, they're not very clear or informative. We're updating that. Um, then we will also be working on the out of memory issue, which has plagued a lot of users. Um, but sorry. We're still to find a sweet spot for the out of memory issue. Um, but what we're doing is we're changing the error messages for that as well. Um, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add, as the community asked for, the features and bug list as well, so that whenever they come into the condo, they get a change log over there, so they know that in this version, there have been these many changes that we've done, just like you have in games and stuff. Now let's move on over to the more exciting features that we have planned out. Are you ready, Aka?
I am. I am.
I, I hope the community is ready as well.
I'm ready
So
to.
that's
Who's that?
nice. That's nice.
Who's
Is that
that?
Ash? It is Ash. Hello, Ash.
Hey, hey.
What's up?
How's it going?
I could listen to Nabil's voice all day.
Yeah,
Thank you
he
so
has
much.
very calm voice.
Yeah,
Just
I'm thinking of taking a nap.
Do you want me to be more engaging though?
No, it's awesome. It's awesome.
All right, all right. So the one of the major things that we are doing is that we will be adding secondary marketplace links to people's NFTs. So whenever guests come in, they can view that NFT on the marketplace, and if they like it, they can send them an offer.
yes.
Yes.
That's one of the features that I was the most excited for
Yeah, yeah.
because it changes the game, right? It basically your crib now becomes your marketplace, right? So you don't need to when you're like sharing stuff on socials, you can just share the link to your crib, and everyone can see all of your stuff in one place in like 3D immersive environment. So that's amazing.
Yeah. So it's like experience it and then you can buy it.
Yep, yep.
And then what we're doing is that we are finally, this one I'm very excited for as well. So remember we gave hotkeys for the rotation and scaling,
Hmm.
and then community was like, we need hotkeys for like play the NFT placement as well.
Yeah. So
We're
you
doing
don't need
that
to
as
use.
well.
Oh, so we don't now need to use mouse anymore. You can just use the keys to place
Yes.
an item.
Yes. So you can
That's
use
awesome.
the hotkeys to make the NFT go forward, backwards, left, or right, and just position it in a more precise manner in the crib.
Which keys are going to be used for that?
I know you were gonna ask me, and you know what? I will have to find that out. I have it with me. Just bear with me for a moment. I have been talking about this with people, and then I approved it as well. But here it is. So the hotkeys will be for the y-axis, we will use I and K.
Okay.
So it will be just like WASD, but it will be WASD on the right side of the keyboard, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
how I remember the keys. So it will be I and K for y-axis. For the x-axis, it will be uh, J and L. And for the z-axis, we will use U and O.
Oh, awesome.
So
So
it's very
basically,
similar to what you have in games. In games, it's WASD, QE. But since we're already using WASD and QE for movement, we had to go with an alternate. But see, that it's very easy. You will have your left hand on WASD and your right hand on IJKL UO. And it will be very, very easy to do it.
yes. And the keys in between are for the rotations and all that stuff. So,
Yes, the in between keys are for rotation and stuff. It might take a bit of a learning experience to get used to this. But as with everything, is always a slight learning experience.
I will definitely use it because I think I already broke the scroll on my mouse from scrolling so much. Sending all those NFTs out through the window,
Yeah,
far
now,
away. It was
mm,
a lot of scrolling.
yeah,
Uh,
now you can use U and O for that.
yeah.
Of course, so the fun fact, in Unity and Unreal, the Z and Y axis are inverted. So Unity say, and I always forget which is which because remember, I'm not a developer myself. I manage. but that's something that I always confuse.
You're not a developer?
Yes,
How?
I'm not a developer.
I didn't know that. I actually thought that you are
No, no,
the
no, no. I mean, I know Unity and I know Unreal. I can, design stuff in it and I know how to use the tool, right? But I'm not a developer.
yeah, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Someone needs to manage all those guys. Awesome. Um, okay. You know what I have? I actually have a Figma of this update that you were talking about. How you can see the public views and likes. Do you want me to show that? Did we lose Nabil?
I think I disconnected. Did I disconnect?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I did. We didn't hear you, so
I'm
um,
sorry. Okay, I'm back now. I was going to say where you got that Figma from, but then I remembered I shared it with you earlier. This week has been very, very busy for me.
it was, it
Yeah.
was, and it was from very early morning every day. So,
Yeah, yeah.
can I share?
Please go ahead.
Awesome. Okay. So, guys, top left corner, everyone. Um, you can see my screen,
Also,
and
Yaku, you're playing music. I love that song.
I'm playing music. Do I really? Wait, then I need to find where am I playing that music.
Just another day in paradise.
Ah, okay, okay. Then I need to wait. Give me a
I
second.
love that song. I love that song.
Me too, but I have so many windows open that I don't even know where it's playing. So I need to first find
And
where
and
this.
I love the live version as well, in which Phil Collins himself is drumming.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Thank you for that, Yaka. I needed that.
I love soft rock is my type of music. Oh, I found it. I found it.
Oh
So
my goodness, Yaka, we should hang out more.
well, I'm waiting for you to invite me to Pakistan, man. I want to see, the development building and how you
Oh
guys
my,
work and all that.
oh my goodness! Done,
Uh,
done, done, done.
I need to ask Ash for like, 5 days of vacation to get there. That would be epic. Uh,
No.
no, here you go, Nabil. Now we know it's set. I'm not going.
How
Okay,
how um, how about you can work while you're in Pakistan?
I always work, even while I'm sleeping. So-
All
Sometimes
right,
my
all right.
sometimes my wife wakes up at like 3 a.m. and I'm on the phone,
Tell you
doing
what,
something.
tell you what, you know, I will invite you to Pakistan. You just need permission to go to Pakistan from Ash. That's it. I will cover everything.
Oh, thank you, Nabil. That's awesome. No, I would really love to, really, really.
We'd love
Uh,
to have you here.
so everyone, if you check the screen now, you will see, the difference in this one here is that now you can filter like cribs and condos here. Previously, you couldn't, right? You didn't know or if it was a crib or a condo. Now you can filter crib, condo, small, medium, large. We are integrating the search option. Is the search option gonna be working already, Nabil?
Sorry, I was muted. So with the search, we're still deciding between giving filters rather than search. So I just need to finalize that with the team tomorrow, on Friday, and then I will let you know.
Okay, okay.
Because remember that we talked about having filters. There are already filters over there. So I was like, let's get it out with the filters and we can do the search later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
it
let's
makes
see
sense.
what, so let's see. Maybe we'll do them both, but confirmation definitely tomorrow.
Okay. I mean, for now, when there's like 50, 60 cribs and condos, public, it's not that big of a problem, right? You can still go through filters and find whatever you want. But I think later down the line, when we have, 500 to 1,000, the search will be the search will be a fine feature to have.
Definitely.
Creeps. Yeah, creeps. Um, so here you can see the votes, right? We will now be able to vote for our, for the Nabil, will the most voted one be on top?
In the next iterations of this, yes,
Okay.
we will add that.
That will be very nice. And you will also be able to see how many, guests you had in your own crib. So just like on Twitter, when you see the reach, right, this is then something similar. Depends on how many addresses entered your crypt. So very good to have. So yeah, next week is gonna be amazing. Huge update, and then the marketplace facelift, which we are gonna hear more next week directly from the person responsible for the facelift. So looking forward to that.
So am I.
Ash, do you have any question for Nabil? No. Ash is text mode only. Does anyone else has any question for Nabil? Or Nabil, do you might want to share something that we're working on beside those?
Hello, is that
scripts?
working?
Yeah, it's working now.
I'm sorry, I was looking at the I was just looking at the Figma and everything. First of all, I love it when sometimes you ask Nabil about a feature. I can actually hear the panic in his voice. He's like, yes, I'm working on that. He doesn't like to, Nabil doesn't like to reveal his cards, He'd be a very
Yeah.
good player, I think.
But how me and Nabil work is we don't agree on what are we gonna talk about on this dev updates, and I'm just shooting stuff out, and he just needs
Yeah,
to answer.
exactly. I just need to think because remember, right now the number of threads that I have going on that I have to look at are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just bear with me, I'm counting 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16 threads, and crib is just one thread. So
Yeah. Yeah, but
yeah,
it's really I really love it. It's exciting to see. I love the way the community's getting engaged with them as well.
exactly.
Just I think I don't know how many we've got up already on the homepage, and then I think there's as more and more features come in and the usability is increasing and developing and evolving. I'm seeing them all over social and people are sharing them. So yeah, it's awesome to see. It's really really cool.
Crypto Knight is asking you, Nabil, when will we be able to duplicate furniture?
Okay, let me just open up the sheet. Furniture duplication is in V1.6.
So in the update after 1.5.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's how maths works, Yaku.
Thank you, Ash. Thank you.
1.6 right after
Comes
1.5.
well, no. You can
Yeah,
have
yeah. Okay, we should have
1.5.
1.51.
Yeah, you
I
can
get
have
it. All
1.51.
right.
You see,
Mm.
you see.
Someone,
So
when you played the music, someone said just another day in the metaverse, which I thought was quite witty.
Oh, nice. That's
Yeah.
so nice. And
D3X
Gigi.
D3X T4's got some really interesting comments and questions as
who,
well.
who you mean Dexter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did I just
Oh,
sound like
that
a
it,
boomer?
it. Whoa, it's called Dexter. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my
Well, a
God,
couple of
you
comments
guys
here.
are
Like
such a boomers. You don't
I
know
was just
the
gonna
how.
say I exposed myself as like a massive boomer. Um, yeah. But there was a question about, and I don't think I understand the question.
I,
It said,
I, I, I understand it. I understand it.
may I suggest you put planes on the walls
Yes.
as surface?
Let me explain. Let me explain. So what
Oh, like
Dexter
not like
means?
aeroplanes. I was thinking of
No,
like our planes.
no,
Oh,
no.
I get it. All right.
Yeah. So what Dexter means is that we're able to put the wallpaper on one side and a different wallpaper on the other side as well. That's correct, Dexter. Yeah.
I think let's wait for him to answer. While we're waiting for him, A plane in
Yes,
Unity, Unreal
exactly.
is like
Yep,
a sheet.
exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mm.
And
I had my Top Gun hat on. That's all. Mm.
Gigi sir said when Phil Collins in the crib. Would love
No,
to have Phil Collins in the crib, but we can't really do that
What about
because
Block News asked a question about when can we add animated GLB files? For example, if my VFlect is looking on the wall. Oh no, that's I've mixed it up. Yeah, so Block News is asking, can we add animated GLB? Yeah, he has animated GLB characters.
so animated GLB characters. Right now, the crib only supports NFTs that are on the blockchain, and we will work on
I'm
the
assuming these
ability
may
to.
be. I'm assuming these may be NFTs. I'm not quite sure.
Yes. We are coming up with we are
Yeah,
working on getting 3D files from the blockchain and importing them into the crib, but that is an R&D piece that will come after we're done with the update.
yeah. So as we discussed, I think it was in the scrapyard, right? Or it was yesterday in the Reflect Weekly. I don't know. I have so much shows every day that it's all I'm confused already. But we discussed that after the 1.8, I think is the last one, right? Nabil on our list. 1.8 should be
Yes.
the last update. After that,
Mm,
we will pause the development of the crypts and condos for a while. So you guys can then move on to creating, the crypts and condos for the monster zone, right? And
absolutely.
and focus on doing this everything that was built up to 1.8 into the app. And
Yes.
that is going to be then, the big, game changer when everyone will be, able to use an app to, put furniture down, put NFTs on the wall and all that stuff. So
yeah, I'm super about mobile. I'm really excited for that as well. I know there's a bunch of
it's a mass adoption. It's a
yeah.
mass adoption, definitely.
So
Mm.
Lee is saying when all walls 16:9. Now, this is a bit of a tricky thing. Right now, the images they cover the walls, and we can't have the walls in a 16:9 aspect ratio because in reality, no wall of your room is going to be 16:9. However, what we can do is that those options when you're playing a video on TV, you have 4:3, 16:9, so it doesn't like fill everything. It just maintains that aspect ratio. We could try doing that, but then you would have a portion of the wall that does not have any wallpaper on it. So Lee, how do you think that will look?
Yeah, I don't think we don't have to necessarily restrict ourselves by those dimensions. We can maybe get someone. We'll figure that piece out. You know.
Okay, so Rogue One has few questions, but Rogue One, I actually have good news on the 6th of March. Does it come on 6th of March? Can someone check? Wait, just give me a sec. On the 9th of March, we have this dev update, and Sharoz will be joining us. Do you remember Sharoz from 3 weeks ago? He showed us the dashboard, and how it will look like and all that. He's gonna join us in 2 weeks, and we're gonna go all over it. We're gonna go all over version 1, version 2 with dates and everything. So he will be able to answer your 3, 4, and 5 questions directly. Okay, not that maybe we don't know the answer to them, but I think Sharoz will give you, the long answer that you are looking for. Okay, so mark it down. Next week we have special guest is gonna be who, Nabil? Umer Said
It is
and
Umar, Said, and Ramil Amjad. Yes,
Ramil. Yeah,
Umar and Ramil.
awesome. So they will get us through the marketplace uplift, and then on the 9th of March, Sharoz will join us for the dashboard update, and
Yes, and
it's gonna be a
Dexter.
huge one.
And sorry, Yaka, just to answer Dexter's question, you definitely need to change the one wall in the small cribs. So, as everyone knows, we are increasing the size of the small cribs. Um, once we do that, then we will do the fixes that we have received the fixes, the ones that the community has asked for. We'll look at it then.
Okay, but I want to go back to Rogue One because he had good number one and number two question that you, Nabil, I think can answer. When should we expect interior common spaces? So he is, talking about a hub.
The Virtua Hub, yeah. So right now the Virtua Hub is in the art and design phase in tandem with some back-end development. I cannot give a date out to the public yet, but very soon we will have a date that we will make public.
Okay, Ash, maybe you can talk about more because that was more the decision that was made on the business side.
Yes.
Why is Nabil talking that it's in the design when we were already showing it like 6 months ago?
Because basically, if you see a lot of the narrative and a lot of what we're doing right now in Virtua, there's a lot more game-centric elements and community-centric elements that we want to bring into the hub. So the initial hub was just one social space. But if you think about it, ultimately, that's not super meaningful. So what we want to do is layer in different community areas, different games areas, and then the ability for different communities to be able to customize their own spaces within a vast space. So we actually went back to the drawing board with some of it, because if you just dig a bit deeper and we see a lot of these big spaces that are we see shared on Twitter and stuff, they're not super powerful. It is, again, it's one of those places that you go and hang out a little bit and then just disappear. So we're just redesigning it to make it much more meaningful and have much more interaction with the different touch points of Virtua. So the new games things that are being designed in some of the mobile games that we've got feeding, and everything feeding into this one special place, and then talking to some of the communities out there as well to have their areas within these big hubs. So that's kind of why initially what we were thinking was like each district would have like its own hub. But what we want to do first is roll out one central space, which we think will be super powerful, be a nice proof of case, and then we can develop it out further from there. So that's kind of why we took that decision. Let the cribs, develop and build. And I guess one of the things in the past we have been a little bit guilty of is that we put stuff out there and then sometimes it can feel like it's not quite done. So that's why with the cribs and the work that you guys have done is very much a case of, look, let's get it out there, let's iterate it, let's make it great, find out what our blind spots are, and then just make it a great experience. Now we're taking the cribs learnings, the community feedback, and the wider community feedback as well, and hopefully bring all that into the hub so it's much more of an experiential thing. Even talking to other exciting partners, I'm talking to levels.art. They have like these cool games based around art and doing stuff like that, so there's a lot of interesting stuff there. And yeah, Rogue One, on top of that, there will be a plan to beta test interior spaces with users, like what we did with the Virtua app, and also what we perhaps should have done with the cribs. I mean, we actually did have an internal beta for the cribs. It's just the feedback and stuff wasn't fantastic at that point. But yeah, absolutely. We want to involve the community. The people that are contributing should be part of this process. So yeah, awesome.
Okay, so the question number 2 is for Nabil then. Will we be able to put virtual game leaderboards in our cribs?
So that would be a business decision. I mean, if we want to put them, we can, no issues.
Yeah, but in terms of leader,
Yeah,
we're going to have we have definitely have that concept, but the idea was placing it into games and community hubs. So the idea would be, let's say you've got a particular games community, they would be able to see, be able to see the leaderboard and feed back into the game. But that's a Virtua specific score. So the idea was to have it where everybody can see it. So it's the ultimate flex. So that's be like something massive in the hub where people could see, okay, Rogue One has got this top meta score inside of Virtua and stuff like that. But if we think there's demand for that, to have it within your own crib, something that we could
Explore.
we can certainly export it, because the data's already there. It's just a case of bringing in the visuals, So that's something to consider. But yeah, we'll put it on in the feed.
Yeah, maybe just personal in your own crib, right? So if someone comes in from a public, he can see your scores. But yeah,
he's saying it like he wants to. Rogue was saying that he wanted it to be like one of his own sports book sort of things, like kind of like that place we were sitting in Las Vegas that time, Yaka. Where I was convinced you were drinking much too much beer.
No, yet. Come on. I didn't have enough money to consume a lot of beer there. Beer was like $12.
I'm convinced you were drunk, but you were just really, really happy.
I was happy. You took us to a very nice show. So I was very happy. I got to see Vegas a bit.
Block News is asking some of the cool questions, like when VR. I'm not going to say too much on this, Nabil.
No, please don't.
We love VR.
Yes, we love VR. I'm just gonna move on before Ash starts talking about any dates.
Block News also
that got us into troubles before.
Yeah, Block News did have another interesting question, and this is something that I'm quite curious about too, Nabil. Will we have our own FBX rigged characters? Now I know that you said that we only allowing people.
Okay, so with FBX, the only issue is that usually FBX has well, in FBX there's a .fbx, right? And then there's textures that accompany the FBX file. So what we are working on is .glb.
Yeah. Because some of the challenges that we had. So, for example, sometimes you see. I know I'm harping on about this a little bit, but when you see a lot of these demos and people think, "Holy crap, that's awesome!" Cribs function in a browser, and that's what we want. So we have to limit the amount of. You've got to limit the type of texture and also the amount of polygons. So part of what we're doing in terms of allowing games to enter Virtua and SDKs and APIs and stuff like that, we're definitely building out tooling, and that's something that is being specced out and developed at the moment. But as you said, Block Muse, it is challenging, and it's one of the things that we kind of need to address at a wider level. It's one of the reasons that we've joined up with OMA, and part of the work we're doing with OMA is actually trying to establish a standard for models, that really work with interop, and make it make it work effectively. But yeah, GLB is something we're working on, because I'm always moaning at Nabil saying, can I do this, can I bring this in, can we? So yeah,
exactly. And with GLB it's a bit more better, since it has the textures and the 3D files in one extension. And oh, come on, Dexter. So yeah, that would be awesome.
Muse, what sort of talking about? How complicated are they? What would you like? What would you like to bring into your crib? That you don't see out there. It'd be cool to.
I always come up with some good ideas every week. I have the best idea ever.
Yeah. Oh, and interestingly, guys, the .glb part, it isn't mentioned in any of the releases, but we're actually doing it secretly.
Well, that's a great way to keep a secret.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes.
It's okay.
No one knows now. No. How will they know? Oh, Nabil.
But that's for a different thing, It's not the ability to upload your own GLB into the crib. It's for something that will improve the overall user experience. And that is why it's still a secret, because you don't know what it is.
Ah,
Oh.
okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw
Poker
the deck.
face.
I saw that Dexta said that some simple design tables or even the wooden plate or something would be great as well. More furniture. Yes, Dexta. That's why we have the crafting, right? We basically what you see in now in the cribs and condos are just basic furniture, right? But you will then be able to craft some really really epic furniture, from shelves to chairs to different couches, tables, all that stuff. That's the whole point of the crafting stuff, right? So
Yeah. Oh,
what we've
and
put
Rogue
in
One.
is
Mhm.
basic.
And Rogue One has said, I love to play games in my crib. Remember the story I was telling you the other day, Yaka,
Hmm.
about the pinball machine?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Should I?
I mean, you can tell. You can even tell what we just discussed yesterday and today with Jawad. So I don't know. Maybe
Hmm.
tell us.
You
Tell
know,
us.
no, no. Okay, wait. What the thing that we discussed with Jawad, unless it's approved, we shouldn't.
Okay. Oh, you're such a
But
party breaker.
We're talking about
Jawad,
the. I want to hear this story because that pinball machine was the bane of my life. When I used to do presentations
okay,
for
okay,
art,
fine. Okay, done. I'll tell it. So when we were building the fan cave in Unreal, there's a pinball machine over there. And when we were working on the VR version, you could actually play pinball on that machine.
oh yes, I played it. I remember now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then we had to get the PC build out, which is non-VR, and the code that was made, we had to like make a few changes for it to work on PC. But with so much happening back then, we were just never able to get around to it.
Does anyone know? I don't know if anyone knows the story about who we actually built the first fan cave thing for.
Hmm. Yeah,
even I
that's an
don't know
interesting
that.
one, Ash. Go
Ah,
ahead. This,
it was
yeah, yeah.
made for the who apparently are a really big rock band. I'd never heard of them, but and then Gary
You
told
never heard of the Who?
They're they're
no, I
so big in the UK, Ash.
Oh my God!
listen. I grew up on hip hop, so I had no clue, right? And then I remember Gary yelling at me, saying, "You don't know who the Who is?" And I actually didn't know what he was talking about. So yeah, we made it. We made it for the Who because we were talking with who were it? Universal Music at the time.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so it actually had a record player, and the record sleeves that they had. The concept was, and this was before people started doing it later, is we wanted to create the record sleeves like they had songs like Tommy and stuff like that, and each one of the record sleeves was a custom version of their records. And there was a remember Nabil, there was the record player, and we had the speakers
yep.
and all that stuff. Yeah,
So what you would do is in VR, you would pick up a record. You would take the record out of its packaging and you would place it on the vinyl player,
yep.
and then you would use your hand to put the pin down. I'm sorry, but I just forgot what the actual name of that thing was, and you
Called a
would
record
place it
player.
in. No,
Oh,
no,
the
no, no. Of
stylus, the
the
needle
Yes,
stylus.
the
Yeah,
stylus, the needle.
yeah,
But the arm was called something, and you would place it on the record, and music would come out of the speakers. And
yep,
there were little animations as well of the speaker going up and down. It
yep.
was
Pretty,
nice.
yeah.
Oh my God! I wish I could be able to show sometimes all the presentations as that you did, for the different football leagues and for the different movie studios and movies. Those were
Oh,
so amazing.
I remember showing Mattel the Hot Wheels demo that we had, and
Oh yeah,
I remember even showing,
I
uh,
have the Batman one here
yeah, and I
with
remember
me.
even showing, Disney the Hulk one. You remember we had a Bruce banner that you could pick up and it turned into the Hulk in your
Mm.
hand. Yeah, that was
Yes, in VR, and then let's not forget Street Fighter.
Do you
mm,
think someone would kill me if I show the Batman one how it looked?
Uh,
oh,
I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
mean.
I mean, we've got to look. The point is, we've got to look forwards, right? But we don't need to look backwards. But yeah, I mean, it'd be cool to show. I mean, I've got the Premiership one that I did. People
What
don't
if
know that.
someone takes a screenshot?
Ah, no one will do it. Can I show Ash?
All right, go on then.
Ah, yes, guys. Oh
Mm.
my God, you will
Rogue One
see.
is like, I'm
But it's a
recording all
demo.
of
It's a
this.
demo. It's a demo.
It's a demo. It's a demo, and we didn't get it. We didn't get it. So don't think
Okay.
it's okay. But I
That's because
think you will read.
we
I
refuse to
think,
pay. We refuse to pay a bajillion-dollar guarantee and then go bankrupt like so many companies do.
but I think here you will see, the quality that our team can produce and will produce also in the future. But check this one out. Top screen, top left, everyone, and now check that.
Yeah, this was cool. So the idea here was, on the left you have, like the comics that people sell. You would have them on the wall. You would have your cards, like like they're doing the HRO cards or whatever. Now you could have those on the wall as well. Art. You would have the Bat Pod, which you can see. We had a version of the Batmobile, cows, and then we had the concept of murals as well. So it was just all different kind of things that you could do. I thought this could be so cool, and then different textures, so a stone texture on the wall. There was another view, Yaka, but then there was like different art from different types of Jokers and stuff that you could have on the wall. So yeah, we'd really thought this one through. It'd be really exciting, and each one of these things would be things that you could go and collect. So yeah, I mean,
Their loss, right, guys? Their loss,
Yeah.
not ours. Their loss. They could have that
there's actually a version. I don't think
sick-looking
have you got
Batmobile.
the Premiership version,
I
Yaka?
don't. I don't. I
There's
lost
one.
it. I lost it, but
There's
that one was so epic. Oh my God,
yeah.
I'm so sad that I don't have it.
So before they went to tender, before Premier League went to tender, we were talking to them about this, and we were talking about like the experiential piece and what you could do. They hadn't really figured out what they could do at that time. They hadn't figured out what they wanted to do, to be honest. And that's always the case with a lot of these companies, that they kind of don't know what they want to do. But yeah, I think Rogue One is Batman, because I've got the suit and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well,
there we go.
I know that eventually, those guys will come back. We just need to build, and
Well,
that's it.
funnily enough, I had one big toy company come back to me yesterday who said no before and asked for a lot of money. Yeah, I mean, so that's interesting, and they want to talk about some of their IPs. They're no longer interested in 10K collections. They want everything to be in 3. They want stuff that's all up our alley, basically. But it now has to fit into Virtua's narrative. Rogue One, I spoke to Barry Dorf over at Hasbro. They are super nervous about the space right now. So we will see. I actually suggested we do something with Hasbro Pulse. But they're quite cautious. They're quite cautious.
Yeah, it is what it is, right? The crypto space right now, doesn't have the best reputation. But this will change eventually. With time, it will change. We just need to, as I said, keep building, and yeah, opportunities will come. But as Gary was talking about a while back, right? All of a sudden, right? We got Legendary, we got Paramount, and it was because they were like, they didn't understand, but they were like, yeah, fine, let's go with it, right? But then when the companies smelled the money, right, everything changed, and all of a sudden they wanted like crazy amount of money for a license. So yeah, okay. I hope I didn't show too much, and that Ash won't kill me when I
haven't
open WhatsApp.
railroaded the dev update as well. I'm very sorry if I've.
No,
No, no, not at all. It was really nice having you, Ash.
actually, me and Nabil said that this one is going to be a bit shorter one because we didn't have much this week apart from the dash. How did the dashboard launch went with the with the claim, Nabil. Everything smooth, everything fine, everything working as it should. Guys, don't forget to claim your free NFT if you didn't claim it yet. Um, the car, the jet, and the yacht. If you minted,
Yaka, can you say yacht again, please?
yacht,
What? Is that how
yacht,
you... No, there's a T on the end.
yacht,
Just... Okay.
Yacht.
yacht, yacht,
Yacht.
yacht.
Yeah.
Eh,
I want to know how Wen pronounces it.
English is not my native language. You should know that already. That's always my excuse.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yako, what is your native language?
Slovenian.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. You can tell this next time to Jawad when he would be asking again where I'm from. Ash. I'm not gonna tell this here. Too many people.
All right,
Jawad.
guys.
No.
Let's wrap this up now.
Yeah.
I have dinner waiting downstairs.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's 9 p.m. for me.
Oh, already?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, Nabil, then we will let you go. Thanks for joining again for this week's update. Next week we'll have Anis and Umer Saeed and Ramel joining us. So maybe you can take one off. Guys, do we give Nabil one off so he can go to bed at 7 p.m.?
No, everybody wants him. Everybody wants him here. Look, there's so many no's coming in. He's like a superstar.
No, thank you.
Nabil,
It's all right.
Nabil
I'll join. I love listening to these things, so I'll be here.
Awesome.
I love Wen's little gifs or gifts or whatever she's putting up.
Rogue One says, "Get a cot for your office."
He's not that short.
Everyone, thanks for joining this week's Dev Update. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something new, and speak to you soon.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
See ya. Bye.